Today marks almost 1 week since Hurricane Melissa made that historic landfall on Jamaica as one of the strongest hurricanes ever recorded in the Atlantic basin, leaving destruction and desperation in its wake. Organizations like Direct Relief are working with Jamaica's Ministry of Health and Wellness now, and that's to help those, well, that need it most.
Yeah, and many of the hardest hit areas are facing complete and total devastation. Direct Relief is focusing on both physical and mental health needs, helping communities along and across Jamaica and the Caribbean recover and rebuild stronger. Yvonne Rodriguez-Wewell, Executive Advisor for the Caribbean at Direct Relief, joins us now. And Yvonne, first and foremost, thank you so much for your time. From what I understand, you first landed on Friday. Just real quick, give me your first thoughts upon landing.
Yes, my colleague and I landed here in Jamaica since Friday, and on Saturday we visited the community of Catherine Hall in Montego Bay. Community completely flooded by storm surge and an overflowing river, so resulted in a total loss for many families. Today we're now in St. Elizabeth, one of the hardest hit areas, assessing needs and meeting with local partners. At least 4 hospitals have reported infrastructure damage and many health clinics remain closed, which is a serious concern as thousands of people are currently unable to access essential medical services.
And Yvonne, in terms of you were able to get into Jamaica, but in terms of being able to get further aid and supplies into the island, has that been a challenge, or have you seen improvements in terms of trying to get it distributed and arrive into Jamaica?
Logistics are definitely a challenge. There's unstable communications, transportation, and movement around the ground. Direct Relief has already allocated $250,000 to support emergency operations and more than $60 million in medical aid that are ready to be deployed, ensure that essential medicines and those that need the most.
And obviously, there's going to be a little bit of instability with the signal out of Jamaica as we speak. So we're going to attempt to try and connect with Yvonne here shortly. But until we reestablish that connection, this really goes to show and to the point to where it's good to see not just the local community, the local government coming together, but also, it looks like, Yvonne, we've been able to reestablish your connection, but also just groups and organizations come together worldwide to support Jamaica. And, you know, Yvonne, that's exactly what your team is doing. You have boots on the ground. Talk with us about how you're coordinating those relief efforts with local hospitals and, of course, health officials there in Jamaica on the ground.
Yes, I'm sorry about that. I was just talking about communications, right? This is exactly one of the logistics challenges that we have been facing. We're currently working with the Jamaica's Ministry of Health, and on Saturday a second shipment is expected to arrive with several tons of vital medical supplies worth an estimated $1 million from our warehouse in Santa Barbara, California, to support specifically Jamaica's Ministry of Health and Wellness. And this shipment includes antibiotics, insulin, vaccines, medicine for chronic conditions, protective equipment, among other urgently requested resources. And this is why, because there's no power, so many of the health centers, clinics, hospitals are closed down. So it's very hard for people to reach and continue their access to health care.
And real quickly, too, before we leave you, Yvonne, in terms of help, a lot of people are seeing the images and realizing just the massive amount of need that continues to grow in Jamaica. The best way for people to help if they are watching.
Direct Relief is a privately funded organization, so our work depends entirely on the generosity of individuals, foundations, and private companies that make this possible. People can go into our website, directrelief.org, for donations and to learn more about our efforts here in Jamaica and all of the other nations that were hit by Melissa in the Caribbean.
And, you know, before we leave you, I just want to at least acknowledge the fact and acknowledge the support, the efforts that not just you, but your entire team are doing. It is going to be a very difficult process, obviously not just months, but perhaps years for some areas to recover. Yvonne Rodriguez-Wewell, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Have a great day.
Absolutely.